Hello, and welcome to the We Get to Do This podcast. My name is Kaylee.
And I'm Jacob.
And we are your co-hosts.
In this show, we're going to dive into all things our lives, from our partnership to romance to entrepreneurship to growing our businesses together, our fitness journeys, and we're going to have a ton of different guests on that relate to what I just said in some way. We're hoping you enjoy the show, and if you do,
please feel free to follow us, leave us a 5-star review on wherever you listen to your podcasts, and enjoy.
And if you don't like the show, tough. Thank you.
Thanks. We are back with another special episode from Kaylee and Jacob, number 30.
What was that voice?
I don't know, it's kind of like my announcer voice. I got so excited.
We're back. Episode 30, top 10, or what are we calling these? 10 things?
10 things episodes. So we've had our first 10, I don't know, the last couple we did, 10 things we've learned as entrepreneurs, 10 things our first 10 was 10 things we've learned since starting a podcast, like about starting a podcast. And today,
more long,
please, on the theme from last week, we've gotten so much positive feedback from all of our listeners, aka both of our parents have said how much they liked our story.
And we don't know who the third listener was yet, so if it was you, let us know.
But I love. Jacob, still debatable, but I think you love.
Yeah, so we're going to say 5 things each that we love about each other. All right, ready? I'm just kidding. That's not what we're doing.
We do that every night before bed, so we don't need to do that on here, too. But anyways, we're going to continue on our partner streak of talking about that. And today, it's 10 things that we've learned from each other.
Which I think is perfect because it fits into the love mold, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think a lot of people in relationships are maybe looking for a relationship. I think some of these things, for probably both of us, I don't know, I worked on some of these and then you have reiterated some of them, right? So when I was single, I feel like, well, as though I was kind of working on some of this stuff that we're about to talk about, but then like meeting you and being with you has re-taught me how important they are. So I don't know. Hopefully you find some value in this. And if not, this is a good therapy session for Keely and I, because we're in a huge fight right now. All right, let's go.
But also I think it's important because I remember growing up, my parents would always ask, like, how, this partner, if I was in a relationship, like how this person makes you better, or they're going to be mad because I can't remember the exact wording right now. But I feel like you should be learning something from your partner. And if you're not, I don't know, feel like something may be wrong. But that can even be things that you don't want in a relationship. So if this is you, I feel like it's important to always be learning from your significant other, good, bad, because a lot of what's in them and what you're getting upset at or angry at is usually reflected back on you.
Right.
So
yeah,
always learning lessons.
Yeah. And I will say too, I ended up doing 6 because one of mine is almost 2 things, but it was kind of like a joking fun one. And I decided to keep 5 serious and then just do a little bonus at the end, just a heads up. So.
All right. Well, since you have 6, you get to start.
All right. Number 1 thing that Kaylee has taught me.
Is this in priority order? Is this?
Oh, no. No. Are we doing it that way?
I wasn't, but then...
Yeah, that's a good point. So 1 of 5 things that Kaylee has taught me, not in any order. Slow down and smell the flowers. If you know Kaylee, the best way to understand this one is if you're on a run, take a second and take a deep breath in the middle of that, right? But if you know me, I am very, very fast-paced, always doing something. And I think that since being with Kaylee, and it's funny because I feel like I was even told this kind of growing up a little bit too, but being with Kaylee has really reminded me how life's good right now. We don't have to always be thinking about the next thing, but we can sit in this moment a little bit more. And I feel like I do that way better, which I know it's not amazing, but than I did before. That's my number one.
Mhm.
Or that's one, man.
Take the picture, enjoy the scenery, yell out, "Oh dear," if you see a deer.
Yeah. And I will say too, like a lot of this stuff, pretty much everything on this list, I'm actively working on. Just so keep that in mind too. And we have stories probably for all of these in which I have not done that. So
They're all learnings. It's not expert things that we've taken away from each other. That's, yeah, I feel the same way about mine. So, um, one of the big things that I've learned from you is centered around boundaries.
okay, boy. All right. I don't know how I feel about that.
I feel like, and I feel like a lot of these things I was already working on, like you said, before our relationship, and then it was just also reiterated, like you said, now that we're together. But that boundaries has many facets for me. One of them being boundaries around not working 24/7 and to put my laptop away and to not be working into the late hours of the night. And I feel like that I've been doing a lot better at lately.
Oh yeah. I mean, you go to bed at
8.
8:39, but I don't know if that's entirely by choice.
It's not completely my choice because if I didn't go to bed at 8 and I went to bed at my time that I used to go to bed at, 10, 11, I just would be getting no sleep and you would be yelling at me to come into bed as well.
It'll be interesting to see how that changes as we grow in our relationship, though. Like once we have a apartment or a house that has a bedroom that has a full wall. Yeah.
I hope it never changes.
All right.
I like the innocence. And then just boundaries, along with not working 24/7 with taking sabbaticals and that it's okay to take time off and not that life pauses while you're gone, but life will continue to go on whether you're there or not. And to take the trip and to take extended periods of time, and that's okay. And that my business and life will not fall apart completely while I'm gone. And that it's important to step away to get perspective and to recharge. And then boundaries around family and friends. And I think those are, again, things I have been working on, but just things that I've now been developing recently. And I feel like I went from a person with not really many boundaries at all to healthy amount of boundaries and kind of protecting my peace.
My next one, the people that love you will love you regardless of your results to an extent. I think that during the whole marathon prep and season and whatnot, I think I'm a changed human being after the last year with that marathon. I think it was the first year I wasn't, like, I just really accepted that at the end of all of those races, the people that love me and care about me aren't changing, whether I run whatever time. And like really only I care about it. And the people that I think may care and then actually do care don't matter, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Okay. I like it. A big thing I feel like we've helped each other both with is helping the people that want to be helped. I think we've talked about that. Alana, your tea, okay? Your bone broths.
Yeah.
Um, we've
We
talked
should do a
about,
pod on that. We still
yeah,
haven't. Sorry.
but clearly it's a big theme in our lives. And I was just talking to a patient actually because she's been doing a primal diet and she's like, I wish everyone knew all these things and I want to tell all these people about oxalates in their foods and all of these things that have helped her. But I think her coach or somebody was telling her, don't like go seeking out people to help. And so we were kind of talking about how if people want your help, they will ask you for help. This goes for our patients, this goes for family, this goes for friends. Just because you feel like you may have the tools to help them or that you have the capacity or ability to help them, one does not mean that they want to be helped. And two does not mean that you need to then overextend yourself and go out of your way to help them. Both of us are in careers where it's completely wrapped around helping people to feel better, to feel healthier, and to achieve their ultimate outcomes in life. And we do a very good job of it. And that does not mean we need to go and try to help the entire world as much as we may want to or think that we can help. And understanding the ripple effect of by helping this one person who has asked for your help, then their family will see their results and what they're doing. And then their friends will see. And just because we're helping maybe a one-on-one client or patient does not mean that it stops with them. And I was talking to this patient too and saying, now your kids can see you exercising and what you're eating, and then that will get passed on for generations to come.
I think you really need to do an episode on that. I really think that is such an important concept. Quality time is very important in a relationship. Now, there are love languages, and Kaylee is a big quality time person. And so this may be specific to like the people that have quality time as a love language, but at the same time, like, I don't know, show me a relationship that it's not important to spend time with your significant other, And so for me, one, that's understanding what is quality time, and we view it differently, and communicating that. Quality time for me, sitting on the couch and watching TV, is not quality time for you. So that's been a big thing. But going on a walk is. So, thinking about ways that and communicating ways that we spend quality time and view quality time, I think is very, very important. And I think our relationship just does a lot better in general when we both focus on that. So,
yeah, understanding what each other's quality time is and then compromising on that and not assuming that, since we did spend all afternoon watching Netflix, that was not that that's not filling to me, but just filling in different ways. I like it. My third one is you've taught me how to not be absolutely perfect in everything and to not take things so seriously and go over the top, and that sometimes done is okay, and then to have fun with it at the same time. And that kind of goes back to our last episode of me starting my business and how I wanted everything to be perfect. I wanted the website done. I wanted scheduling done. I wanted to know all my accounting stuff. And not that you knew any of this stuff was going on, but for you, it was just start. And then when we did start dating, I still didn't have my website. And I remember you just being like, you just got to get something out there. It does not need to be perfect, but just get something out. And I've tried to take that into consideration, like into real life a lot, because nobody is critiquing yourself as much as you are. Nobody else knows all the things that you haven't done besides you. And then remembering at the end of the day that we get to be doing all of this, and perfection is not what we're striving for.
Yeah, I think that perfection has its time and place, but I also feel as though perfectionists are going to have a hard time at first with entrepreneurship because you're going to put out like everything you do at 80%. That's in my experience, at least. I really think that's how it boils down to. It's not like And it's not a, half-assing it type of thing.
Right.
It's
It's not
like a,
bad work.
most of the time you don't have much time to get something done, and you have to accept that that's okay. Right. So plus like you're saying too, with like our businesses, it's like, we're just playing the game board right now. Now we have nothing else. Both of us are completely self-employed. Congrats to Kaylee. We didn't even announce that. We should have announced that at the beginning of the podcast.
I think I did that as my week to do this moment last week, but as of yesterday, officially, I'm
That's right.
employed. Thank you.
Congrats.
It's basically all game at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing,
And
this is what we wanted. We're
Yeah.
here, so it's,
And we're privileged to be able to kind of play this game because it's just us, but also this is a life that we have set up for ourselves to get to this point.
yeah.
And I think we're both good at balancing each other out because I feel like I do look more at grammar and more like the fine tuning of things. And you're more just like, I'm going to get a lot done in a short amount of time. And again, it's not bad. It's just, it's not me triple, quadruple, 10 times checking over everything.
Yeah, I think it depends on where you're at too, right? If we get 10 years from now and, blogs, for example, or podcasts, whatever, if one of them has thousands of listens or thousands of views, I think it would change, right? Right now, it's like, get a blog out, get a podcast out, get a YouTube video out, get a docuseries, just boom, 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 boom. And because some are getting 5 views and some get 20 plus, and then it's like, okay, that one got 20 plus. Now let's go explore that, right? So it's a lot of what we're doing is trial and error right now too. So
Yeah, and it's all what I've learned for getting followers and views is just consistency,
right,
over perfection, and yeah, finding what works and what doesn't, what resonates with people.
right. I like it. What number are we on?
That was my third. So this is your fourth.
So I had slow down some of the flowers. I had those that love you will love you no matter what. I had quality time as important in a relationship. And number 4, as cliche as this sounds, you've taught me a lot about unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
Really. I don't know. If you know Kaylee, you'll understand that. Literally everything that you do it because you love and care about people in your circle. And yeah, I want to be like that, but I'm just not, I feel as though so much of the stuff I do still is like, what can I get out of this? Not that I actually will say that, right? But I feel like in the back of my mind, I think that a lot. And I mean, like, you'll just make dinner for me randomly one night simply because you love me, not because you want me to clean up the bathroom or something, right? So,
I love you.
love you.
I'm going to save my cheesy one for the end. Not that that was cheesy. That was really romantic. Thank you. I feel like I had bad saying this one, but no, just how to consistently run and weight train and just train in general. I never had a coach before,
So romantic.
and I mean, I had completed ultras in a lot of distances, but I think I had kind of settled into, well, I'm never going to be like that good. So instead, I'm just going to cover it up by being semi good at a lot of things: tennis, pickleball, running, biking. Like, I'm just going to put my hands into everything so that nobody thinks that I'm really good at one thing. So then I don't have to kind of over excel, or like, I'm never going to like let down anybody or myself. And then the last couple of years since working with you and being around you as a run coach and trainer, I've realized that it's very fun to not that I'm even putting all my eggs in a basket, but to kind of like focus on one thing. And right now I've been focusing on running, road running, trail running, and it's been very fun to see the progress and to actually be like, oh, I can run fast and I can pull these paces and I can do these distances instead of hiding behind a bunch of different things. And don't get me wrong, I mean, being well-rounded is huge, but also I've learned that we don't have a lot of time. We only have 24 hours in a day. And as long as I'm feeling strong, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, I'm having fun, I'm making relationships and community along the way, it's not bad to focus on one thing. And I still mix it up with strength training, with biking, with classes. It's so nice now having kind of one focus. And I never thought that I would actually like that. And that might change at some point, but right now it's just been very fun building. And now I'm taking that into my career. And this is the first time I've had one single job in basically my entire life. It's always been multiple babysitting jobs, multiple nannying jobs, multiple side jobs, working at hospitals, clinics. And now it's like, okay, I can have this one focus. And I've never really allowed myself to do that before because I never really, I guess it's being worried about failure.
Mhm.
And you've taught me that that's okay.
Can always go back to or switch if something doesn't
Right.
work. I was listening to or reading a book, listening to an audiobook, and they were talking about how someone was juggling multiple jobs and they wanted to make the leap. And they were saying how they were scared about making the leap. And, right now they had all of these jobs they were working and it was safe and felt comfortable and whatnot. And the mentor said, just remember that the people who have a lot of jobs are that people with a lot of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And you can interpret that however you want.
Yep.
And yeah, I think it's important to think about. My last one is you don't always have to agree and you don't always have to fix the other person's problem. That's been huge. Being okay with, example, Keely comes to me with this website pop-up error or something. And yeah, I want to help you, but it's okay for me to also be like, I have no idea what this is. So I think that doesn't me too. And then it's okay to disagree. And like the solution may be that you disagree.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay too.
Yeah. And not getting mad about it and thinking that the other person's a bad person. It's okay to have different opinions and perspectives on things. We're also talking about how, your past plays such a huge part into your present and how the way you were raised, that completely changes your perspective on how you see things.
Mm-hmm.
And it might not be that the other person, again, is like a bad person or you're like, how do you not see it this way? It's just you were raised differently
Right.
and that's okay. But just remembering that too. We had completely different upbringings. My last one. You've taught me how to be completely and utterly myself in every single way. I never thought I would find somebody like you and like to be able to open up and be vulnerable and have full communication and to feel so much love and have so much love for another human being. Well, not trying to put on a face or trying to like make you happy by not being myself, because I think it's gonna make you happy in a certain way, has just been a really cool adventure. And yeah, like I said, I never thought that that would happen for me. And I feel like I can tell you anything. I feel like I can be super weird and you make fun of me being a 30-year-old a lot and it doesn't even matter because I know that you're going to love me and accept me no matter what. And I couldn't be more grateful.
I love you.
I love you.
All right, I have two fun ones at the end.
Okay.
I put fun but serious. I put the value of meal prepping / grocery shopping weekly, and having a list in your notes app. Oh my gosh, has that changed how much money I have spent? And the other thing is value of cleaning the apartment on a regular basis. Even though I don't like to do it, but we clean it. You probably make me vacuum like what, 3 times a week? So this week, what should we get to do this moment?
Whatever.
It's not actually 3 times. It's like probably twice.
A month.
On Sundays, we try to vacuum and clean once a week.
Oh, and Jacob's taught me the meaning of the word slaps and fire and
Now you sound like you're 30.
all of the lingo that these 20-year-olds use these days.
Jesus. All right, what's your week to do this moment this week? That's 10 things.
It was finally in the 40s and 50s in Minnesota the last couple of days, and I got to run outside, and it was absolutely incredible. And I was like, this is why I do this. I'd been keeping up a positive mental attitude towards the treadmill, and I finally got to a point where I'm like, I just want to run outside, and it's finally nice, and we made it. Well, false spring probably, but we made it, people. I got to do that.
To do that. Shout out Al. Mine was probably 8 days ago now. I haven't knocked out the back, right? Did I talk about? I haven't yet.
Yeah.
If I have, tough. So I slipped a disc in my back like 9 days ago or so because I was being dumb and ego lifting a little bit, and did a third set of trap bar deadlifts. Well, I actually first pissed it off and barbell back extensions, and then I continued to do stuff afterwards, and then continued to do an extra set that was not even on the schedule at a weight I was being dumb. I should have called it a day. Anyways,
Not because of the lift, but how you were lifting.
yeah, I mean, I've hit that. I've beat the dead horse with that, you know. Yeah, I'm not. If people don't like deadlifting, don't like deadlifting, that's fine. But I slipped a disc on Friday and I was able to run by Sunday. I was freaking hyped about that. So, it took about a week until I woke up and didn't feel my back. But I'm just so happy because the last time I herniated that disc like 6 years ago, and I've had back issues ever since on and off. But since that herniation, there's been 2 times, this is the second, in which I rebulged or could tell, I could feel when you do a disc in the back, it's kind of like the feeling is like a jelly donut in your back, and you can literally feel the jelly ooze out. It's not muscular. I don't know how to explain it unless you've done something like it, but it literally feels like it's like this pop or this balloon. If you fill the balloon with those sand things and then you squeeze it and part of it popped out of your knuckle.
Picturing a Bismarck and the jelly.
Yeah, it literally feels like that. And then it feels super fiery. Like literally my skin was on fire. And then it can get nervy too, depending on how bad it is down the legs. But fun fact, it's not sciatica, it's below your knee. So if a trainer or someone says you have sciatica and it's not below your knee, it's not true. Anyways.
False sciatica.
It's false sciatica. Anyways. So I'm not even going to get down that rabbit hole. But with Kaylee, with my chiro, with my ability with strength and knowing what to do to push the disc back, it was amazing how fast I recovered from that. Holy smokes.
You were limping. You could barely.
I couldn't stand up Friday. Friday I could stand. And it hurt to lay down. Everything was pain. But, those first prone cobras and Eldoa stretches and things I was doing, those were painful. And normally when in the past, I would never even try to do those because they hurt. But sometimes you have to hurt to get rid of hurt. And there's this fine line of knowing that and, to get the pain to go central back to the spot that it bulged from and stuff. So yeah, that was huge. That was huge. And I got sick that week too. So stay healthy, keep your body strong, use your resources. But that was a very we get to do this moment. I was very happy about how fast I bounced back from that. I feel great now. So
Yeah, you did.
we get to do this. Episode 30, 10 things.
I can't wait to that 30.
30 episodes. We're 30% of the way to the end of the show. 70 episodes to go and then I'm done. Just go in, just kidding. But actually, we'll see what happens.
We have at least 30 done. Stay tuned for next week. We have some special guests, special Minnesotan guests that are coming on that I think you all will really enjoy.
They're giant runners.
Mm-hmm.
Big runners. You may know the female, but you'll definitely know the male.
Hit. She's an Olympian.
No, I was being head ass right there if I was talking.
Oh.
I said you may know the female, but you'll definitely know the male.
Oh.
You'll know them both. I'm just messing around. This is now awkward. Peace out, everyone. Episode 30.
Bye. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you all.
Wow, Kaylee, we made it through another episode. What do you think?
We would love if you would go give us a follow, a 5-star review, and comment on the episode and what you liked and what you'd like to see more of.
See you next time.
We get to do this